Okay, good evening everyone, and thanks very much for coming along tonight. I'm Graham Darlow and I'm the chair of the steering group, and we've just held our meeting this afternoon, which is always an enjoyable and entertaining thing, with a lot of work gets done too, by the way, and we have a series of working groups that are really cutting through some pretty exciting stuff. Before we start, I'd like to single out Worksafe New Zealand and the Ministry of Business and Innovation, or MBI, for sponsoring tonight's event. So the costs in hiring this room and the beverages and other things that you're getting are through their sponsorship, so that's great. The new legislation is a topic of many of our minds, and thanks to Worksafe and MBI, we have a great opportunity this evening to learn more and hear how we can prepare ourselves for the changes to come. I often start these events with a quick update on how we've been tracking. And since March, there's been fantastic growth in our membership, taking us from about 190 signatories and endorsees to well over 220 today. I know there was a concerted effort by many of us to get companies on board, so well done and thanks very much for your effort. It's really important that we do encourage as many people as we can to join the charter, and I encourage particularly owners, main contractors, builders and even small contractors with their colleagues to encourage people that are working with you or under you to join the charter. We want to make it easy as possible for people to sign up to the charter, and that's something we asked the Communications Working Group to look at. As a result, they've designed a pretty simple PowerPoint and flyer for you to use as a handout when you're talking to others in the industry. It'll help you start with a conversation of why you should come to the charter. There are so many great aspects to the charter, and while all of us here in the room tonight don't really need to be convinced, we do need to continue to keep promoting the charter if we're really going to achieve its aim of creating a legacy of a safe rebuild. The flyers are also available at the tables at the back of the room, so please take a handful of them as you leave, and let's continue to spread the good word about the charter across the industry. Thanks to WorkSafe, we've also got another opportunity to increase the charter brand across Canterbury. You will have already received an email this week letting you know that there's a $100 subsidy for the charter posters and stickers, so please get on board with that. It's very generous, and it's a great offer which will help promote your business around the town, with the posters having your company logo inserted on those posters. I'd like to introduce Libby Carter. So you would have read about Libby being appointed the Charter Officer in our recent newsletters, and some of you would have already met Libby today as you came into the room. Others will meet her as she goes about her business across the rebuild. We're really pleased to have Libby on board. I think it's a great initiative. This is an idea that came from Helen Kelly from the trade union, but Libby is funded by WorkSafe, yet another contribution that WorkSafe is making. What she's leading is really important to the safety group, and that is worker participation. It's a big part of our charter. Libby started working with the steering group organisations first up, but she will be in touch with many of you over the coming months. Libby is really keen to work with organisations and your managers first before getting out to the workers. This means it does take some of your time to get around and everyone, but we think it's the right approach and it'll work well. So far, Libby has met with, is in the process of liaising with Fletcher Construction, Lumley, Arrow International, Lees Construction, Jennian Homes, Fulton Hogan, Corbell Construction, Enterprise Recruitment and Argus Fire Systems. She's asked me to thank those people that she's already been in touch with, and she's found the people to be speedy with their responses and keen to work to facilitate the site visits across many of the areas as possible. So thanks very much if you've already been in contact with Libby. This, of course, is no small effort when everyone has a very full workload. When Libby comes to one of your sites, after discussion with you and your teams, she'll be focusing on talking to workers to find out their views on the Charter and the health and safety on site. She will be handing out Charter worker kits which have some really handy information on the Charter for each worker on site, and also give Worksafe's new fact sheet for workers, helping them to understand their health and safety rights and obligations. Libby will also be asking workers to complete a survey which has been prepared by an independent research company first, and this is completely anonymous from workers and will provide really valuable information for our Charter and the way we design our future programs. We hope to be able to present the initial results from the survey at our next event, so this is the repeat of this in 3 months' time. Libby's aim is to get 500 responses from workers, and we're on track for that already. The research asks workers some key questions about health and safety on site, and these are listed on the screen just as a snapshot. So far, Libby has had really positive feedback from those people she's spoken to, even getting the thumbs up and waves from the trades in their vans around the city. From the small number of visits completed so far, Libby has also seen a gap in knowledge around what health and safety reps are, what they do and how to become one. As a result, there'll be information fact sheet on this produced and available very soon. We hope this is a good conversation to start with workers about health and safety representatives training, helping to meet one of the goals of the Charter project, and as I said, worker participation is a key goal for the Charter. So some people have been a little bit unsure about what Libby does and what the purpose is. So just to remind you, the first thing is to raise awareness around the Charter. Secondly, survey workers anonymously so that we're provided some really good data to design and implement our programs for the future. And then lastly, to seek worker participation on the health and safety roles, and we think this is a key to improving safety across the rebuild. We've got some exciting projects planned over the coming months. One area you asked us to help us with in your assessment tool results was around impairment, particularly around fatigue. From the assessment tool, impairment is the only section where less than 50% of signatories are rating themselves as not achieving the Charter's actions, with only 30% of signatories reporting that they are. And the area is fatigue management. Ian Campbell will talk more about this in the assessment tool results later in this meeting. As a result, and together with Worksafe and ACC, we'll be making this a priority between now and September. I've listed some of the things that are planned for on this slide: toolbox talks, posters, and the support of Worksafe occupational health van, which will be operating later in this month until early July. Perhaps most importantly to many of you will be the Charter extranet, a sign in the area of signatories where you can share documents, policies, templates, guidelines and other stuff. Many of you requested help around fatigue management plan, and the extranet will provide you with this. It'll be the first stop for you. Once it's operational next month, you'll be able to log in and view other companies' health and safety documents that may be useful to you in creating your own. Of course, this is only available to signatories of the Charter. We've also got a lot planned in the leadership space, and so Rob Sloan talked to you at our last event about the Leadership Working Group's research it commissioned on leadership in health and safety last year. As a result of that, there'll be a series of tools and guidance produced over the coming months for 4 sections of your organisation: directors, managers, supervisors and workers. This is a huge piece of work, and it's already well underway. We hope to have a draft template of a performance plan to you by September 2, and this will be something you can use following on from your assessment tool results to help you map out a plan to improve your safety performance. By the end of June, we'll have a health and safety events calendar up on the Safety Charter website. This won't be for charter events only, but for anything across the health and safety related in Canterbury. We're also looking to develop an award and a recognition scheme for great health and safety areas, performance and actions, and of course you'll be seeing more of Libby around town and hopefully more of the charter posters and stickers. So we're hoping in the events like this to come there'll be a series of awards where people are recognised for their great contribution and their good performance. From next month, the charter membership funding system kicks in. So we've done really well being funded by Worksafe and ACC thus far, and what we're trying to do is move more to a self-funded so that we can make sure that the charter as it's set up will be able to carry through into future years. So you'll receive more information on this in the coming days and a chance to provide feedback on the fee of that your organisation pays. As you can see, so it's been 3 or 4 years that you've had a free run from your organisation, so it's been very good. As you can see, there's a lot happening, and we'll be updating you on this progress throughout the next quarter in our monthly newsletters. But before I go, I'd like to acknowledge a few more organisations: Fountain Design, Navigators Consulting, Cosman Parks, Research First and SiteSafe. These organisations have been doing a lot of hard work behind our initiatives. Fountain Design creates the wonderful things, the images and brand work on the Safety Charter. Navigators Consulting is the company behind the assessment tool. Cosman Parks has been working on the work for the leadership guidance and tool, and Research First put together the worker engagement survey that Libby will be rolling out, and SiteSafe completed the leadership report of last year. So thanks to you all.